When you were a man determined to revolutionize the auto business, what was the largest machine you ever saw? Exactly what Elon Musk needs is there. The first enormous Giga Press invented by the Tesla CEO flipped the automotive industry on its head. He has since declared that his business will alter the game, as it receives a new, even larger Giga Press. How big is this new apparatus, and what does it do? Join us as we delve into Elon Musk's announcement that IDRA produced a 9K tons Giga Press that changed everything. The tradition-rich automotive industry is well known. They've been accustomed to those production techniques and find it difficult to abandon them. One of them is the way they build their cars by putting together various components provided by various manufacturers. To make all the parts fit as one, they do a lot of welding, bolting, riveting, anything that is necessary to make the car stay together. However, with the parts in a typical car reaching up to 30,000 pieces, this kind of manufacturing leaves a lot to be desired. The logistics can be mind-boggling, and the delay in supply of a single component can ground the production light. Elon Musk is not a fan of this type of manufacturing and has a sticker for efficiency and cutting costs. He wants to use as few components as possible without compromising the quality of the finished product. This is the idea behind the Giga Press. With more than 1.5 million pre-orders, the behemoth machine aids Musk in lowering production time and cost. The Cybertruck is the only one for whom every second counts. If Tesla is to satisfy the escalating demand for its goods, pre-orders can continue to flow, though with at least 12 gigapresses working away at its gigafactories around the world. Tesla already leads in the electric vehicle space, but the American company gets a massive advantage with its gigapresses. In fact, if they continue to hold out and refuse to adopt the gigapress, they will continue to fall behind. To give you an idea of what the Giga Press is, when Sandy Munro, the auto industry legend, took a tour of the Giga Press manufacturer's playland, he remarked that the gigantic machine should be thought of as a factory, and not just a tool. Tesla started out making cars the same old-fashioned way. In fact, Model 3 had multiple parts and fasteners that hold the frame together. However, the company has since evolved into the company that makes Model Y. Now in 2022, using a three-piece casting a single machine has transformed Tesla from a dinosaur to a world-class company. These days, Tesla can make a car from three major parts: a cast rear, a structural pack, and a cast front. That is advanced automotive manufacturing. The Fremont plant of Tesla is home to the first two gigapresses. In May 2020, construction on the DCM-1, the world's first aluminum die-casting machine, began. To construct the appropriate living facilities for the gigapress, Tesla obtained various permissions from the city of Fremont. By August 2020, the DCM-1 facility's development was essentially finished. By September of the same year, Tesla was ready for the trial casting of the Model Y's rear chassis in a single piece, using the first gigapress by the time the DCM-2 facility was also completed. The next facility to get its own gigapress was Giga Shanghai, where Tesla installed 3 leaked documents showing the floor plans of Gigabomb. Lennon photographed the factory in the early days of construction, revealed the factory would house up to 8 gigapresses for the Model Y alone. While describing the factory, Musk revealed the site would produce Model Ys using an innovative method. It was referring to the gigapresses. They would help Tesla achieve its goal of 500,000 cars per year from the German plant. However, there have been reports that Tesla will eventually scale up to 2 million cars per year in Berlin, and it will rely on more gigapresses to get there. But why is casting better for car manufacturing than other methods that join components together? Casting is simply a superior technology. It is very convenient because there doesn't need to be any heat treatment, and the car part is made in less than a second. The speed means there is no induced stress causing odd dents or bends in the material. Also, once you get it right with your casts, you can quickly and easily replicate the process to make millions of the same components but used in different cars. But because there is little to no opportunity for error with this procedure, you must have a high level of precision. Any inaccuracy will be repeated in every component produced by the same machine. Although this is not a concern because gigapresses are some of the most accurate machines now in use. Despite their immense power, casting has another enormous advantage. Specialists have shown that there is always a quality cost when your manufacturing process needs to assemble several components. Call that the multiple parts tax. This is because the parts Tesla makes using gigapresses do not have holes where fasteners used to be as such. The material is much stiffer and firmer than the previous cars Tesla made. By joining many pieces together, you will have a lighter car made with fewer pieces when you use the single castings, and the car will be less likely to break over time. There will also be less creaking and noises associated with multiple parts fastened together. When the car has been driven, the concept of the gigapress is actually quite simple. Toy car makers have been doing it for a long time. But to make actual automobiles, it needed to be scaled up, which is where companies like Tesla had to step in. Giga presses of enormous sizes. They can weigh up to 430 tons and are as big as your residence. To move half of the car chassis, the first set of Giga presses that Tesla ordered had to have a clamping force of 61,000 kilonewtons. However, with time, Tesla discovered it needed something even more powerful. The Cybertruck made from the same steel used to make SpaceX's Starship requires a bigger machine, so Tesla placed an order for a Giga press with 9,000-ton clamping force. In fact, the name Giga Press didn't come from Tesla. It was coined by IDRA Group's general manager, but it is a name that fits its purpose and aligns with the company's most prominent customer. The Giga Press has all the components you would expect a die casting machine to have. The size of the components is the only distinction. A vacuum tank, for instance, has a capacity of 4,000 liters. In order to produce a vacuum inside the mold, this tank is employed. It makes use of high-pressure die casting technology developed by a Swiss business. The quenching tank is an additional tank. Here, the temperature of the casting is quickly lowered to the correct degree in order to prevent flaws. Moreover, there's the trimming tool that removes excess materials from the casting. A Giga Press also comes with a metal recycler that converts scrap or waste metals into materials for new castings. There are different inspection tools too, including X-ray machines for checking the quality of the finished product. Here's the process of a Giga Press follows to produce Tesla's chassis. The first step is melting the aluminum ingots and any cutoffs from the previous casting cycle in an oven. The oven gets as hot as 850 degrees Celsius. The next step is to remove any impurities from the surface and convey the liquid metal into another enclosed oven using heated pipes. The machine then fills the empty space inside. The storage oven with the nitrous gas prevents the formation of oxides in the molten aluminum. This step also helps to keep an even temperature before the next step takes place. The die surfaces are lubricated. Soybean oil is sprayed by a robot. The intention is to facilitate casting separation at this point. A high-speed plunger is used to drive the hot molten aluminum into the cavity of the shot chamber. Between shoots, oil is also used to lubricate the plunger. The casting is then expelled from the die after having time to solidify. The casting is still very hot here at 400 degrees Celsius, but it is tossed into the quenching tank where the temperature drops rapidly to about 50 degrees Celsius. By this time, the die is being cooled to 185 degrees Celsius in preparation for the next cycle, which begins 1 and 2 minutes after the last one. This is where the advantage lies. With Giga Press, Tesla can make hundreds of Model 3s or Model Ys front or back chassis. From a single Giga Press in a day, the speed of other car makers simply cannot match, and all these steps don't require human intervention. As the Giga Press has been programmed to work in a continuous loop by itself, Tesla doesn't even need to install a robot here. Using Giga Press, Tesla has been able to replace about 70 parts in the Model Y with a single rear body piece. It has invested heavily in casting and alloying tech so that the Giga Press runs smoothly. The car maker has now been using Giga Press to make both the front and rear pieces of the Model Y at Giga Texas, which officially opened this year. With a Giga Press already established as a mainstay of its manufacturing process, Tesla is now taking steps to avoid putting all its eggs in a single basket. The EV company will begin using another manufacturer for the Giga Press. It needs more of these monster machines as it ramps up production worldwide. Tesla has been rumored to be in talks with a Swiss plant equipment maker named Bula. Actually, the two companies are not new to each other. Tesla in fact approached Bula first when it got the idea of the Giga Press, but the Swiss company turned down Tesla's proposal. That was 3 years ago, and it seems the two companies have settled the differences between them. It is interesting to note that it was not only Bula that turned Tesla down. The American company approached the 6 biggest die-casting machine makers in the world, and only IDRA agreed to work with Tesla. Bula has revealed its own 9,000-ton die-casting machine, which is exactly what Tesla needs to make the Cybertruck. In Texas, the machine can inject over 200 kilograms of liquid aluminum into a die within milliseconds. That is basically the equivalent of the weight of the Eiffel Tower. In each shot, Bula has a different naming scheme for its own machines. It has the Carat 840 and Carat 920, which it boasts on its website can produce large structural parts with complex geometries. They're also designed to be efficient by wasting as little materials as possible. Bula targets 0% scrap and 40% less cycle time. There have been suggestions that other automakers have begun to contemplate purchasing their own Giga Presses after seeing Tesla's success due to the machine's continuous operation. They still have a long way to go before they can match Tesla's output though. Comment here and let us know what you think of Tesla's Giga Press.